So I did the Panhandle 50 shoot, 30 shoot, 50 targets. That's I did the Ironman. And I came home from that shoot pretty frustrated and PO'd at myself. Uh, I was not happy with how I did. My score was, and that probably is a hint about the whole process. But anyway, you're looking at a score versus a kill shot, and I got into this hunting. Of course, the score lets you know you're putting, I know you're looking, right? But I, uh, I will, before going to the shoot, I swapped out all lighted knobs with 1.5 gram tips, and I thought I had that dialed in pretty good, but I don't think I had shot the the 125s with the lighted knobs, and that's all I had with me. So when I started shooting, they started fishing pretty bad and constantly, consistently doing that. And that frustrated me pretty bad. I got a couple good shots in, but there was really nothing, zero I could do to adjust to that except to pick a spot that was right of where I needed to hit right and high after we kept fishtailing and going left low. And that was the first couple shots going into it. And I just got more and more frustrated as I got into my 50th targets. But because I know I can do so much better than that. But even with that, frustration, I still did for hunter shots. I mean, my score was 421 out of, 50 targets. So I averaged my average was an 8. So I averaged out at an 8. So I mean, if I did get a 5, it's still a kill shot. I mean, any of those in a hunting situation, I got to take it for sure. But I walked away doubting the shot and doubting the process, and I was really frustrated. So after 8 hours really of shooting, in the heat and being wiped out, I got home and I shot 2 more outs. I probably put 100 more arrows down range. I took off all the lighted knocks. I shot with the lighted knocks, without the lighted knocks. I did another field test, basically 125, 150, 175, 200. And then I settled on the 200. And then I had different wraps. All of them were whitewater wraps, but some are different lengths. And then I had 3 different feathers. So what I ended up with was a Gerald Cut 28 carbon to carbon. And I ended up with, 7-inch wraps. They were the Indian pattern, Navajo pattern, the Don, and then the Voyager pattern. And, I tried 2 other kinds of feathers. I like folded them, but I'm more consistent with the Voyager. I guess because the way I anchor, the other 2 are great. I like the way they shoot, but in fact, I I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna try different look, maybe different variation, um, but the Voyager, you just can't, I mean, they're just, like, from my shot, I can't get better than that. So I probably shot another, I don't know, 150 arrows today and tested with lighted knots, without lighted knots. I like, I like it better without lighted knots. I don't know. I love shooting lighted knots, especially in a hunting scenario and a low light scenario and all of the above scenario. Um, but I don't like the arrow problem. So, I think this is version 2. That's cool. Anyway, I live in a wonderful place, but, um, got these little birds right here inside me. And like the video, apparently. So Mr. Cooking that. Uh, but, um, anyway, so that's what I ended up with. And I started shooting again, very consistent, shooting at 20 yards. I consistently shooting at 20 yards. And, you know, like I can be close to, a 5 inch, circle diameter. Some of them, right, don't know on top of each other. Uh, but, um, I think I was watching a instinctive prediction, video that we put out on some of the flukes he had done on some of the rigs, but you just put that video out this week. It's really good. I really hope, in case you missed it, but very, very good, um, info. But while I was watching that, I thought, you know what? This is a completely different game, uh, of hunting is versus, 3D. If you're going to do 3D, aiming, having a super light, super straight, uh, arrow build. I have a Hawk and Denbo my son shoots, and I did a super light arrow build for him. And when I'm shooting that 3D, oh my goodness, that is like, it zips them in there. It's a 64-inch longbow. I mean, it pops them in the, and super great for 3D. But I, unless I did a different arrow build, I would not take that hunting. I mean, it's too light. So that kind of, watching that video kind of dawned on me that if I'm going to do the 3D game, I have to play the 3D game rules. Um, there's a lot of things you can do hunting that will make you more accurate, you have to have the heavier arrow build. Um, uh, there's a lot of things you have to be different hunting. Um, and you're shooting for the vitals done, on that heavy arrow mode. You're not shooting for a point. You're shooting for lungs and heart. And, uh, so that's a different deal. So if you take out the lungs and heart, doesn't matter if you got a 10 or an 8. If you got lungs and heart. So that's what you have to remember, or me anyway, so I don't get frustrated with trying to go hunting on a 3D ring. I either have to go for to not go for points at all and just do, hunting shots and just do fun shots. Or if I'm going to do the 3D game, do the points game, then I need to get a rig that is 3D point and, and maybe, you know, set that up in a completely different way. Uh, I mean, one of the guys I was shooting with was shooting an Olympic style bow. He got 100 points more than I did. Of course, his stats were too, so it's flying straight, so that helped. But, uh, that's, he's doing the 3D game, right? So if I'm going to do that, I just have to remind myself 3D is a different animal. So, I got dialed back in, feel better about it. And I'm, back in the damn hunting, but I did go heavier. I love the Aeroflight with the 200 grain. So I'm going to have to, get some more VGA, 200 grain, millimeter rooters, starting them up, do another penetration test. But, I'm just, I'm happy to have it back dialed in. And, man, I tell you what, this trad journey can be something else, but I'm ready to roll. See you on Ted. Two hundred grain with Voyager feathers and no lighted knocks. Drill the center. Let's go check those last 3 out. About right there. So that is, look at that. Okay, can I even see that now? Okay. So that is that's Voyager feathers, 200 grain and 200 grain field tips and 80 grain half out at 20 yards. Beautiful Aeroflight, nice and straight. Feeling much better than I did over the weekend shooting 125 grain with lighted knocks. The lighted knocks kept throwing it off. I don't know if it was the brand or what it was, but I was getting fishtail pretty bad with lighted knocks, and I had been shooting with lighted knocks, but I think, if I'm correct, I had the 200 on, or at least 150, if not 200 on with the lighted knock, so it wasn't doing as bad when I was shooting at night. But when I put them on with the 125s, I was consistently going left, consistently getting fishtail.
Here's to the thrill of the hunt, the peace we find in the woods, and finding true aim in our Creator King, Jesus. I'll see you on the Trad Trail.